Okay, we're live now. So in this meetup, we're going to have Jason do a bit of a presentation, if you will, showing us how he runs his business and how he is successful at it, and kind of just talk about a few things. And I'm going to have everybody on mute until he is done, and then we're going to have a discussion afterwards. So if you would like to go ahead, Jason.
Awesome. Well, my name's Jason. I've been on eBay for nearing 10 years now, and I'm just going to go through like the top 20 items that I sold the past 31 days, and I've built a presentation to kind of show everybody really, how I run my eBay business and what works best for me. Of course, it's not a one-size-fits-all type situation. I mean, there's more than 1,000 ways to be profitable on eBay and run your eBay business, but this is just I'm just kind of giving other people insight on how I run mine and what I look for when I'm sourcing items and things of that sort. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share and show my top 20 for the past 31 days. So hang on with me. Okay. The first one is a Brioni blazer, and this actually didn't sell for $461. It sold for, let me go up here and take a look real quick. It sold for, how much? Should have had this already up. It was like $225.88. I took a best offer. I usually don't use best offer, but I put best offer on items that I price at $300 or $400 or more. So I took a best offer at $225 for this. The next is a pair of Christian Dior Hami jeans. These sold for $194.46. Next is an Aquascutum beige double-breasted trench raincoat, Aqua 5, size regular 38. It sold for $121.16. This actually sold internationally. Vintage 90s Polo Bear by Ralph Lauren long sleeve shirt, 2XL P-Wing Sport. This sold for $104.24. Next is an Eileen Fisher Women's Plus 2X Solid Gray Alpaca Long Open Front Cardigan Sweater. It sold for $98.48. Nike Challenge Court Vintage Men's Extra Large Beige Quilted Liner Hood Coat. Challenge Court, Nike Challenge Court is always a tag to look out for. It's in the rare category, I guess, and I think Nike only made it. They have different styles of Challenge Court. Like there's the Agassi style. It's more sought after in the Nike brand. So, vintage LL Bean suspenders, heavy wool hunting pants. These were really heavy and thick, 100% wool. My photos are a little bit dark, so it's hard to see, but these happen to sell for quite a bit of money, $72.77. The reason why I used the keyword suspenders is because on the inside of the pants, there's buttons in the waistband inside the pants that are made for suspenders to attach. Oxford clothes, gray check suit, size 42R. Oxford clothes is a very good brand to look for in the men's dress clothing category. This is what the tag looks like. Ralph Lauren 4XLT RL1 Team Racing Polo Shirt, United States, Big Pony, navy, and white. This was a really cool find. The thing with Ralph Lauren stuff is your normal run-of-the-mill stuff, it's so saturated on eBay that, I mean, it's just going to take forever for it to sell, and the profit margins are very low unless you pick up that stuff and you have an intent to lot it up in like items. Like, say, a lot of 10 Ralph Lauren short sleeve polos, all the same size, will sell for, $100 to $120 in the middle of the summertime. But items like this that are kind of, unique, and items that are larger in size, tend to sell a lot better. So just wanted to share that. Scully men's Western wear shirt. This is one of those thick Western rodeo shirts. They're kind of heavy. And those tend to do a lot better in Western wear pearl snaps. Scully is a very well-known brand, higher-end brand in the Western wear. And men's Scully does a lot better than women's Scully does. But I thought that this color would go good, and honestly, I used the keyword Tiffany blue because, I mean, it looks quite similar to Tiffany blue. So this one sold for $69.49. Another Oxford clothes blazer here sold for $62.03. Here's the tag again, and here's the blazer. Harris tweed, gray herringbone wool tweed sport coat jacket, size 40 short. It sold for $60.80. And this is what the tag looks like on these. Nike SB stands for skateboarding. Solid gray windbreaker water resistant jacket, size 4 extra large. This is actually the very first time I've ever found a Nike SB item, but it went for $60.19. Robert Talbot caramel sport coat men's 52R window pane houndstooth suit jacket. I think that the reason why this one did so well is because it was, I believe it was 100%, I think it was bamboo. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. But that's not typical for these blazers. So it sold for $58. This is something that I've recently started researching, and Adidas is making a huge comeback. Either that, or I just haven't realized how valuable some Adidas items can be. This is an Adidas Performance tracksuit, both the jacket and the pants. Nothing really special about it. It's got the 3 white stripes along the side. But it's size 2XL, and I was able to sell this for $57.63. Double D Ranch, Yoakum Texas Cream Tunic, size 2X. Double D Ranch is definitely a brand to look for. It sells just as well as, say, a women's brand, which is Johnny Was. I tend to run into Johnny Was more often than I do Double D Ranch, but this brand is definitely one to look out for. This piece sold for $46 and some change, and that's what the tag looks like. They have several different tags, but that's what this one looks like. Vintage 1990s Ralph Lauren polo, red FL90 athletic department spell out sweatshirt, size large. This sold for $46.55. A lot of the vintage Ralph Lauren stuff, especially like the spell out stuff, I mean, you're not gonna get rich off of selling it, but it sells for a pretty good penny. So definitely look for the more vintage stuff. In the 90s, if it says anywhere on the item that it was made in the 90s, like this says FL90, I found an RL92 suicide skier turtleneck sweatshirt, and I bought it for like $4 or $5, and I ended up selling it for $325. And I think that was years ago. but it was just so unique. I mean, it was a turtleneck sweatshirt, which you hardly ever see anyone wear. But it had this big suicide ski guy on the front of it, and it was really cool. And let's see, this is a Western blazer, Picano West, tan beige Western blazer, coat jacket, size 42L. I like Western blazers. They tend to do pretty well for me. This brand I've never seen, but when I was in the thrift store looking for it, I just kind of, pulled out my phone and checked comps, and it looked pretty good. Circle S is another brand to look for. Pendleton also makes high-grade Western wear in blazers. Those are a couple of other brands in the Western blazers to look out for. Women's silver jeans. This pair was actually brand new with tags, so it merited a little bit more than typical. Twisted, and they're quite a large size 24W. Pictures are a little dark, but that's what they look like. And Bill's khakis, M2 model, light brown, flat front khaki pants, USA 38 by 33. Bill's khakis, I have really good success with. I just recently found out about this brand, and I've been picking them up ever since. There's different models. There's a little white tag on the inside of these pants that'll tell you what the model is. They've got M2, they've got M1P, M2P. But some of them will sell for, hey, Casey.
Hey, what's up guys?
Buddy? This brand actually does quite well for me, and I look for it anytime I see it in the thrift store. So
keep going. Don't stop on my account. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay, now I'm gonna go and start on my presentation. So hang tight.
I got this random invite.
Okay.
Okay, just to let everybody know that two people that came in just now, Casey. Hi, Casey. Long time no see.
What's up?
And I'm sorry, Corey. I put a little message in the side note, but I am going to have everybody muted until Jason is done. So I just wanted to say that real quick. We do see you, and welcome.
I can't see any of the chat, so you guys have to help me.
Okay, go ahead, Jason.
I'm on my phone.
Casey, I just want to give you a shout out, man. I've been watching you for centuries, it seems like.
Don't let people know our ages, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, man. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. This is amazing to me. So
no problem. Thank you. I got a few. I was just getting ready to head out. If anybody knows Drive Time with Dave, I was getting ready to go do some work with him. But I can chat with you guys for a little bit for sure.
Cool.
I'm just getting all my stuff in the car.
Ooh,
I can't. Yeah,
awesome.
you have to help if there's anything in the chat. I can't see any of the chat. So.
Okay, sure, not a problem, Casey. Well, I'm going to go through just a little PowerPoint presentation on like how I'm running my eBay business. Of course, it's not a one-size-fits-all type deal, but I just wanted to give people a heads up, show people how I run it. So I'm just going to run through that, and by all means, I would love your input as well, Casey. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and screen share again. Okay, eBay strategies for success. I'm going to cover sourcing guidance, listing faster to get fast results, seasonality and stock rotation, and keeping track of your numbers, and researching, sourcing unknown categories, and goal setting. Okay, under sourcing guidance, I set parameters for my purchases. So, for instance, I set an average cost, so I don't want an average cost to be more than $5 for me, average cost per item. I set an average sell-through rate. I don't pick anything up. I try not to unless the sell-through rate's 30% or better every month. This means that when I'm looking at buying something, if it has 10 active listings, I want to see 9 sold within the last 3 months. To find a sell-through rate, you're going to take the number sold divided by 3 and then divide that by the number of active and multiply it by 100 to get the monthly sell-through rate. I like to set a sales price parameter. I don't like to really buy anything unless it's going to have a good shot at selling for $30 or better. Now, that doesn't always happen, but it kind of, by setting that parameter when I'm outsourcing, it's going to give me a higher average sale price. So if I see an item that consistently sells for around $30 range and meets the other parameters, I'll be interested in picking it up. But I will stray from that sometimes if the parameters are higher. For example, a sell-through rate of 60% and the average sale price is $25. Or if the sell-through rate is 10%, but the average sale price is $60, $70, $80. List faster and get faster results. Always, this definitely helps in increasing the number of listings that you can list in a given period of time. I sort and prep 50 items or however many I have into like items. So I'll put all the men's long sleeve button-up shirts together, all the men's short sleeve polos together, the women's tops, blouses together. I'll prep them by buttoning all the buttons and taking the thrift tags off the garments. And then I take measurements all at one time. So I'll lay everything sorted, flat, face down in a pile and measure one after the other. And I keep everything in order. So I'll just measure it and I'll flip it over into a second pile. I'll measure and flip it over into a second pile. And I'll keep doing that all while jotting down the measurements in order for reference when I'm listing the item. Then I'll take all the pictures at one time. At this point, you know, all the buttons are buttoned. You just slip it over your mannequin, you snap a few photos, you take it off the mannequin, hang it back up, and go on to the next one. So then I upload all of my pics at one time. Once you're done taking photos, you're ready to start listing, get your pics uploaded to the computer. Search for your item and your selling in solds and use sell similar. While I'm searching for my particular item, I try to find, you know, an item that's similar or just like the item that I have. I don't spend a whole lot of time on it. I'll usually sort by size and color. I'll just use kind of like just a description. I'm searching for the description of the item in the title. So while I'm searching, I pay attention to the sales price of the item that have sold, and I price mine competitively. Then I'll click sell similar, change the listing title if necessary, and any item specifics. I'll drag and drop my photos, paste in my listing description, type in my measurements, set my price, and hit submit. I'm able to list 20 to 25 items an hour this way after I have pictures and measurements. Seasonality, stock rotation. Contrary to belief, buy in-season items to sell, with a few exceptions. You want to turn your stock quick, so when sourcing, you should only be buying in-season items with the exception of higher margin items that are out of season. I rotate my stock just like any department store. I personally set my items to decrease in price by 1% daily. This way, my items are constantly moving out of my store and making room for new and fresh listings. Look at it this way. If you were to walk into a thrift store and you see the same items on the racks that you've seen all year, would you keep going back to that thrift store to find stuff to buy? Probably not. Keeping track of your numbers. Know your sell-through rate. Your daily sell-through rate is number sold over number listed. Try to keep this at least 1%. Monthly sell-through rate. This is number sold divided by highest number listed. Try to keep this at around 30%. This will mean that you're selling or dropping everything after 3 or 4 months, as our seasons run in 3-month swings. Know your daily profits. We are in this business to make money, so do some quick math to figure out what you made on a daily. To do this, you'll need to know your average cost to ship an item and your average cost to buy an item. My average shipping cost is around $5.40 an item, and my average cost of goods is $6, which is $5 to purchase it and $1 for my contractor to take pictures and measurements of the item. So you'll take sales total divided by number sold, and then you'll take that number and multiply it by 0.8295, and then take that number, subtract it by 30 cents, subtract it by $5.40, and subtract it by $6. And then you'll multiply that by the number sold to get your estimated profit for that day. 0.8295 is eBay's 9.15% fee plus 5% because I pay 5% for promoted listings. So that will, if you don't use promoted listings or you use a different fee structure, that'll change for you. And then, of course, that's also including the 2.9% PayPal fee. And then I subtract 30 cents for PayPal's transaction fee, 5.4 for shipping, and $6 for my cost of goods. This is a rough estimate, but it's very close to actual numbers. Researching and sourcing unknown categories. When you're not listing and have time to kill, spend time in the sold section of eBay. Scroll through categories you're not familiar with and make a list of potentially profitable brands of items that are selling for good money. Do research on those brands individually to see if what you saw was a fluke or if it's a brand that is sought after across the board. If you think about it, you could do research for a few days straight just on Levi's jeans. What styles sell well, what styles don't, what vintage pieces to keep your eyes on. It's never ending, and the more knowledge you have, the more successful you'll be in thrifting. Research while you're sourcing. If you don't have a smartphone, buy one. Go out and make the investment. You'll be glad you did. When you're outsourcing, all the information to determine whether it's a good buy or not is at your fingertips. Take a bit of time and venture to a part of the thrift store that you don't usually go to and look up a few things. You might find something profitable. Focus on one category at a time. Focus and research one category at a time. Master that category. Make that category yours to own. Know everything there is to know, for example, men's pants, so that you can dominate that part of the thrift store without leaving a single profitable item behind. This will make your sourcing trips more successful and efficient. Set sourcing goals. Make it a point to source more items in a week than you're selling. That way, your business is always growing. Be sure to put back some of those profits for yourself, though. You're not doing this for free. Try to source higher profitable items and leave the lower performing items you've been buying at the thrift store. It's hard, really hard to kill old habits, but this will ultimately increase your average sale price and the sell-through rate of your business. Set number goals. Setting goals for your business to hit certain numbers every month. Try to increase your sell-through rate from last month. Try to increase your average sales price from last month. Make better sourcing decisions. We'll do this automatically, so purchases are the first place to make changes. Set growth goals. Setting goals to grow your business is a great way to increase your income. Try to list 25 more items than you're selling every week. Here's the thing, though. A big inventory doesn't mean anything. If you've got 2,000 crappy items up for sale, I can guarantee I will outsell you with my 400 active listings, only because I've taken the time to source more in-demand, higher profitable items than you. Set financial goals. Study your business. Find a pattern in what you can expect an average daily profit from your business, and take a portion of percentage of that and pay yourself. Evaluate this on a monthly basis. Last month, my average daily profit was $115 a day. So this month, I'm paying myself $80 a day and reinvesting the remainder back into the business. This will allow me to continue to grow my business and eventually be able to pay myself more in return. Master 3 separate categories that will make you $100 a day in profit. By doing this, you've created a 6-digit income. For instance, I average over $100 a day in profit on eBay in the clothing category. Now, what if I moved to housewares and did the same thing? What if I then did the same thing with vintage electronics? Focus on one category at a time, master it, and move on to another. This way, not all of your eggs are in a single basket or category on eBay. You're diversified. So this is my conclusion. There's more than one way to run your eBay business. My strategies don't work very well for a bin picker who is looking for $3 profit sales and has 5,000 items in inventory. My strategy is to spend more time sourcing the better items in the bunch and less time listing. As you'll find fewer items when you start restricting your purchasing. This doesn't mean you'll make less money. It just means you're spending more time doing what you love, which is sourcing. I'm able to make over $3,000 a month on average with only 400 to 500 active listings at any given time. My sell-through is between 40 and 60% monthly, and my average sales price is between $25 and $30. Can you imagine what profits I would have if my average number listed was double that at 1,000 active listings? Hashtag goal setting for the win. And that's it, guys. That is it.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. That was amazing.
Thank you.
That was really good. I've unmuted everybody, so
Okay.
you talk now.
Yeah, I'm just listening because I'm pulling into somebody's house. But there's one thing that it was well done and everything. And one thing that's been coming up lately a lot is people being attached. Jason, speak on this. People being attached to their inventory. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So people buy stuff with good pricing, and either one of two things happens. They get attached to it, they love it, and they price it too high, or they price it where it should be and it doesn't sell for whatever reason, and then, say a month from now, there's 100 more listed that are all cheaper. So rechecking prices. How often do you think people should recheck, audit their pricing, sort your prices by highest first, and relook at those comps?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that people should be doing. I mean, I personally don't do that only because I use a third-party application to lower my prices daily. So, I mean, if I price mine at the top of the market, it's actually going to drop in price by 1% every single day. So eventually, it'll get to the market price where someone's interested in buying it.
So I tend to only do it with like the top, say, I don't know, top 10% of my inventory, top 5% of my inventory. If I have something that's priced really high, it's a high-end item, and let's say it goes a week or two without selling, like I'll give something a week or two because, like, let's say I have a pair of shoes, a Ferragamo shoes right now. I priced it $80. It's getting a lot of views, a lot of watchers. Just because it doesn't sell in the first couple of days doesn't mean it won't sell for that. If it goes a couple weeks, say 2 weeks without selling, then I'm probably priced too high and I'll drop it. So I tend to do it like every 2 weeks. Like I want to drop the price twice during every rotation. Because I'd love to get, that high price. I'd love to get it. But if I'm not getting it after a reasonable amount of time, that's interesting that you do 1% daily.
Yeah, I think, well, because it's not that much of a drop on a daily basis, and I actually advertise that on my listing description. So I mean, yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, I mean, like about 50% of my items that I have listed have watchers.
That's really good, actually. That's actually phenomenal. So that's something I struggle with it a lot about when to drop prices and stuff. And I mean, even somebody like me and a lot of people in groups and stuff are always like, how do I know when it's time to just keep dropping those prices? It's interesting, the 1%. It's something I might like do a test experiment with on some of my things. So that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, I use Price Spectre, which is a third-party application. And
I've heard of it. I haven't used it, but it's something I thought about.
Yeah, I mean, it costs a little bit of money. It really does. I mean, I think I'm paying, somewhere between $20 and $25 a month for to use it with my active listings. But I think it's totally worth it, honestly.
Yeah, that's nominal. If it's dropping prices and allowing even an extra couple of items a week to sell, I mean, it only takes one item to cover that. So
yeah.
People, I see that too. That's the second thing I was going to mention is people don't like to spend money on little things. Say, I don't know, like doing the 60-day returns or free returns, which I do for a lot. I got an additional, I don't know, 2 or 3 returns from doing free returns. It cost me an extra, I don't know, $10 in labels. And I saw an increase in sales of like 10 items. And I'm like, well, those 10 items made me $200 and I spent $10 in extra shipping, I'll take 200 extra sales for $10, or I'll take an extra $300 or $400 by doing a repricer that cost me $20 this month. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, customer service is king. And if you have 60-day, 30-day, 60-day free returns, you offer free shipping, you have free returns. I mean, even if you take return just because they don't like the color of the item, I mean, that speaks volumes. I've got, nearly 5,000 feedback, 100% positive. I mean, it definitely helps.
And that will tell you something there, because I don't have that. I have 5,000 feedback on this account, and I have 2 negatives.
Hey, brother, it happens to all of us. It really does. It happens. I'm just waiting.
I had 0 until like 2 weeks ago. I got 2 all in 1 week. I was upset.
Oh man, golly.
Is that why you did that video on the negative comments or something like that?
No, yeah. That's my YouTube comments. That's the stuff people leave me on social media.
I watched that last night, man. You were making me laugh, bro.
People think that I'm upset about it. They don't realize that I get it's comedy for me. I love it.
Yeah, I think if you were upset about it, you probably wouldn't do a video on it.
Yeah, no, people want to, I get obviously a lot of messages about starting YouTube channels or going hard on social media or whatever. And I'm like, just make sure you have a thick skin, for sure.
Yeah.
Some of the eBay feedback people.
No, I was going to say, I recently started doing I used to do a restocking fee, and the buyer had to buy or pay for the returns and all this stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't know. I just got into the mindset of I really want to have good customer service. I've got measurements in all of my listings now, which I didn't before, because when I first started, I didn't realize that was a good idea. And I had so many listings that I just didn't have the time to go back and redo them all, but I do now. Yeah. And I haven't had one return. I have all returns for free, no restocking fee, 30-day money back. I do the 30 money, but I haven't had one return since then so far.
Yeah, so the thing is, it's never one thing that changes it all. It's a combination. So if you take off those restocking fees and you start offering free shipping or 60-day returns, that 60-day return is going to get you 1 or 2 extra sales. Getting rid of the restocking fee is going to get you 1 or 2 sales. So once you add all that together, all of a sudden you end up with 10 or 15 extra sales for the month, and your cost was a couple of bucks on something random that you may have had to pay for the shipping. People don't realize, they want this instant, what's the one thing I can click and all of a sudden my whole store is going to sell? Well, it's not. You have to offer all this stuff. You have to combine everything. You may have to run a sale. You may have to promote stuff. Everything that you do causes a few extra sales. So, adding measurements, probably a bunch of people passed over your items because you had no measurements. Now, all of a sudden, you sold an extra 2-3 items this week because people saw the measurements. They scooped it right up and didn't move along.
That's definitely
added together.
That's definitely true. For instance, I ran about a 2-week test on free shipping versus paid shipping. And I changed all of my listings from fast and free to $4.88 paid shipping, but also using the guaranteed shipping program, which I wasn't using when I was using free. And my sales still, just kind of, slowly dropped. But at the end of it, it was literally about a 50% drop in sales as far as the number of items I was selling. It's crazy. It's crazy. My sales price was higher. My average sales price was higher because I didn't change the amount that I was charging for the item. I just added $4.88 shipping. Right. But I definitely saw a major decrease, and I just wanted to test it because I got really, really upset with USPS, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to eat this. Forget it.
That's funny. Well, I had somebody once who was strictly against free shipping, and I never say go change your whole store to free shipping. Run an experiment, run tests, and some stuff works for some people, some stuff doesn't. But for her thing, she was selling 3 items a day. And she's like, well, I'm charging $5 shipping for her items. I'm like, okay, so every day you make $15 off of the shipping income that you're bringing in. She turned it off, and she went from selling 3 items a day to selling 10 items a day. And she's like, well, I lost the $15. I'm like, but you sold 7 extra items for $15 each, which was $105 more. So you lost 15, but you gained 105. I'm going to go with keep doing it. And so some people have to see that. And I'm like, don't go change 500 listings to free shipping. Go change, experiment, test, And if it works and you see the increase, hello. So
yeah. Well, see, the thing is like a lot of people say I'm doing a no-no, but I'll tell you what, if you're not paying for shipping as a buyer, you don't really have any say in this. Now, what I do is I have all of my listings have fast and free, but in my listing description, I have a blurb that says, I will ship this item either USPS priority mail or first class, depending on weight. So if I mean, all of my listings say fast and free, which is promoting priority mail shipping. But if the item is under 16 ounces, I'm shipping it first class.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you add, if I missed this, sorry, but do you add secondary and third options? Like, do you give them options if they want to upgrade?
I do.
No, I personally don't. I don't even use the guaranteed shipping program because I can't. If I'm promoting priority and I end up shipping first class, well, then, using the guaranteed shipping program wouldn't work for me.
Well, no, I mean, having both options. Like, your fast free option can be first class, and then you can add where they can pay for the priority option, like $6.99 under it. And then sometimes I even offer them like a 1 day, like, hey, you can also get 1 day overnight for $29.99 or something.
Well, the priority, see, fast and free is priority, unfortunately. And it's not, I have all of my listings say that it's going to ship priority mail. Now, I'll save money by shipping it first class if it weighs enough or weighs less than 16 ounces.
Yeah, but if you've advertised it as priority and then you end up shipping it first class, you could get a ding for that.
I could, but the thing is this is the thing. I'm fortunate enough to live only like 20 minutes away from a post office that is open till 11 p.m. at the airport that gets to the distribution center a day earlier than taking it to the post office. So because of that, shipping first class, my items actually get to my buyer the same time as what priority mail would typically.
Okay. So it's a slim chance that it could happen, and you're willing to take
very slim. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm kind of lucky with my shipping too. I don't live near an airport, but I've noticed that most of my my first class items get there in just a couple days, and I think it might have something to do with that. We're in Oklahoma too, because we're like right smack in the middle of the state. So, but I was going to mention that with every single one of my listings, I do have that option to where I do the fast and free on all of them as well. But I also add the express mail if they want it in 1 day. I also offer just personally free pickup. So I put all those in there, and I just feel like that could also help. I mean, I haven't had anybody do any free pickups or take on any of those options, but I feel like, if somebody wanted that item in 1 day, they have that option.
Yep, I sold one last week. Somebody paid me $30 for overnight shipping last week.
That's crazy.
Wow.
A shirt?
Overnight, and so I packed it. I printed out the flat rate overnight express. It's $24.95. I made $5 on the shipping.
That's
and
crazy.
then familiarize yourself with the overnight options if you do that, by the way. But and then it shipped out, and she was super thankful. So
that's wild.
It's only happened once, but it happened. So, how many people you have watching? I can't see anything.
Oh, man.
I'm showing 4 viewers. That does not include us. I haven't had anybody chatting it up.
We're small peas.
Is anybody? I know you're in the big groups. Feel free. Well, if I had known ahead of time, I could have posted the link for people to watch. Next time, give me a heads up, and we'll post it.
Okay.
That sounds great, Casey.
Sounds good.
We're doing it every 2 weeks now, but yeah, I'll send you a link to join in the video chat if you'd like, and then I can also send you. Well, you know what? Just tell your people to subscribe to our channel. They'll get a notification.
It's an Oklahoma meetup group. I mean,
yeah, I know. I need to post a link. So I'll do it actually in a little while. We're getting ready to record a video for something, but which I'm gonna let you guys go. But I'm gonna shoot me if you have another one scheduled for like the next show. Once you get the link, shoot me the link so I can actually put it, for the next time you're going on. But I'll post just the group in general, like you guys, the whole thing today.
No, cool. Casey, you're the one who got me into doing the Google Hangouts. So I can actually do a link 2 weeks ahead of time? Because I thought I could only get a link like in that same day, or unless I have it open.
No, the Google
you know what I mean?
that you invite us with is when you open it. But if you want to advertise it to people to come in and watch the video, if it's through YouTube, yes, you can get the link.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
go into the event on YouTube if it's a YouTube video, and create. If it's through Facebook, you can't, but if it's through YouTube, you can create the link, create the event, and then it will give you the link, and then you can, on the advanced setting tab, you can have it advertise up to, I think, a month out actually.
Okay.
I'll show you later. Send me a message. Give me about an hour and a half, and send me a message, and I'll call you privately or something and walk you through clicking through it or something.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Casey.
Thank you, Casey.
If you feel like this content is something that your members of the Thrifter Reseller Group will enjoy, by all means, feel free to share.
For sure. No, I'll throw it out there for everybody. As soon as I'm done with this, I'll get the links. But I'm gonna message you, or actually message me because I will forget. Trust me. Message me and just whenever you create an event and you have it set, I'll walk you through it. We'll create it, and then I'll take the link and throw it out.
Cool.
Thanks, Casey, for coming in. I appreciate you
absolutely.
coming in, Casey. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Anytime,
Man,
guys.
it is a pleasure, bro.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Well, enjoy the rest of the day. I'm going to finish this, and I'll get the link out for you.
Thanks, Casey. We'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Well, Jason, I really liked your presentation, and I wanted to say on that Double D Ranch, I actually had a Double D Ranch vest sometime last year, and it was nice. It was I found it at a Goodwill store on the north side of town because I live in Yukon. I don't like our Goodwill store here; it's just crap. So I was trying out the more richy areas, and I found a Double D Ranch. Got it for $2. And I had it on there. When I looked it up, I saw that, they sell their clothes for really high. Like, I think it was like $500 to $1,000 a piece, an item, depending on what it is, So I had it up for like $200 for a while, and I didn't get it sold. But I finally got it sold. I went down to $40 and got it sold. But yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen anybody else have a Double D Ranch item.
Oh yeah, I sold a couple of Double D Ranch T-shirts for $50, $60 a piece. I mean,
wow.
I haven't found very many of them, but when I do, I always pick them up.
I'm going to now for sure. I haven't been out there that way in a while, but I've got so much stuff in my house. I'm not going to be sourcing for a while. I'm sourcing in my own house.
Oh yeah,
people keep bringing stuff to me. So
I've got a miniature death pile right now. I mean, all of those pants. I mean, golly, I think I'm probably done thrifting for about a week.
Yeah, it's been a minute for me.
Hey,
Corey. So Corey, you're Rebecca's son, is that correct?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, I wasn't sure if my microphone was muted. I am her son.
We've heard so much about you. Nice to finally meet you.
I'm sorry, don't believe it all, but yeah.
Well, it's only good stuff so far.
Give me a minute. No. Jason has watched some of your videos, Corey. So yeah.
Ever since I've even had the opportunity to make any, I'm telling you though, being in Florida, it's changed quite a bit. Sourcing stuff here has been a little bit different. I know there's no excuses ever, but
you just missed out on Casey being in Florida. Maybe he could have given you some lowdown on where to source from.
Spring Hill.
Yeah.
And he said that it was a little difficult here, but he moved to Tampa, and Tampa's about an hour south of us. But it's when you go down there, I guess it gets a little better. But
what exactly is it? Just really kind of just picked through, or there's just too much competition? What's going on?
Yeah, what's the difference
some
between Oklahoma and Florida sourcing?
I'm sorry?
What's the difference between Oklahoma and Florida sourcing?
Oh, man. Oklahoma is a dream for sourcing. Every time I go to Oklahoma City or Tulsa, I am loading up trash bags full of clothes and shoes. And I mainly do men's clothing. But here, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at, we have 2 thrift stores within probably a 45-minute radius of here. And their shoes, just for instance, I walked in the other day and looked at the price tag of a pair of George Walmart shoes that were pretty much worn out completely. $25 is what they were asking for it.
What?
So,
that's crazy.
How do they stay in business? How do they stay in business? That's what I want to know.
They don't do well. They don't do well. Every time I'm in there, I hear customers complaining like, well, this is I thought this was a thrift store. I thought these were used clothes. And
And it's probably Corey doing it.
$25 at Walmart?
nuts.
Golly,
Oh my gosh.
that's insane.
But that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with. Of course, that's hyperbole. That's the exact one of the extreme situations. But if you're, I mean, typical shirt about $6.95. So I mean, I'm doing mainly shirts. Suits are $20 here used usually. So I mean, if I find a Canali or a Zegna, I'm picking that up. But I'm not sourcing near as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Do you like make it to Oklahoma to source, or where do you source?
You know, I've been. We just went to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That's where I was. That's where I was living a couple of months ago. We just went up there to visit, and we flew there, so I was kind of limited in my capacity that I could carry back. But we purposed that if we found some stuff, we were going to ship it back in just a big box or whatever. But we found a few items. I found a big starter Green Bay jacket and found some running shoes and stuff. But anytime I'm out of town, I'll just look it up online, see where the thrift stores are, and just stop in and grab some stuff. But I'm not actively sourcing right now. It's plans in the future to rev it back up. But right now, with my schedule the way it is, I don't necessarily need to supplement my income with that. It's more of just a hobby that is a decent income here and there. But I mean, we made probably this month. Sierra, how much would you say we made this month? Probably, I don't know, 150, $200 just so far in this month, which is, I mean, it's better than nothing. I'm just kind of sourcing as I can, you know. You don't
do eBay full time?
What's that?
You don't do eBay full time?
I'm sorry, you broke up there a little bit.
Do you not do eBay full time?
Not anymore. I used to.
Okay.
Just since moving here, new job and everything, I don't do it full time. But I'm definitely interested in those who do, and I like to keep up with those who are making it a successful endeavor. But yeah.
Jason's been doing it for a while. 2008, right, Jason?
Yeah. 2008 was when I got my start. I dated a girl in Yukon. And she told me that she sold used bras on eBay, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Yeah, I pick up Victoria's Secret bras from the thrift store, and I sell them on eBay." I was like, "Well, that's interesting. I mean, I'm not going to sell used bras on eBay, but I'm interested in what you got going on." I was like, "Well, shoot, if a used bra will sell, I guess a men's dress shirt will too." So.
What do you all sell primarily?
Really, I sell just about anything that I can get my hands on that'll make money. I mean, primarily clothing, about 99%. It's what I know best. But this year, I'm making it a point to kind of move into like vintage electronics and houseware stuff, and kind of hit more garage sales and things of that sort. Because one thing with clothing is your sale price goes down and the number of sales go down in the middle of the summertime. And one way to combat that is going to be, getting into other categories. So that's what I'm kind of interested in doing this year.
Yeah. Do y'all do any Amazon, anything like that?
I have. I've done some retail arbitrage. I did it for like 2 or 3 months last year, just to kind of give it a shot. And I ended up making about $1,000 profit each month I did it. But the thing with Amazon that I don't like is, I never really got so deep into it where the liquid assets, the money flow wasn't a situation. The problem with Amazon is they hold your money for 14 days. They tie up all of your capital, so you have to wait 14 days. So when you start on it, like you'll have this huge influx of product going into Amazon, and then you have this influx of money going into your account, and then like your product. There's no steady line. It's just like big spike in sales and then it drops, then a big spike in sales and it drops. But
Yeah.
I've never tried Amazon. I'm scared.
I've
Stick
done
with what I know.
I've done a few books on Amazon, but
Dude, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Like I went into Walmart, I guess it was the last part of last year, and they had the Google TP-Link on-hub routers, those round ones that sell for like $200. They had like 4 of them on the shelf on clearance for $49 at this Newcastle Walmart. And I bought all 4 of them, and they sold for $180 a piece like the moment they hit the warehouse.
wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like
Yeah,
it's a good
I
thing
like
to do
that.
if you know what you're doing.
Arbitrage.
Do what, Corey?
I like the retail arbitrage stuff because you send it away and you just forget about it. And then you get a little alerts on your phone. Hey, this sold, and we did all the work for you. Like, sweet.
Yeah. I have been burned a couple of times though. But the cool thing is you know, like for instance, I sold a brand new pair of Beats Beats Pill. They were the Beats Pill 2.0. I found like 4 or 5 of them on clearance at Walmart, and I bought them all and sent them to Amazon. Well, they were all brand new, and one of them sold, went to a buyer, and they claimed that it was defective, and they sent it back to Amazon. And so I requested that Amazon send it to me so I could inspect the return. So once Amazon sent it to me, I opened it up, and it looked brand new, like had the sticker on it and stuff, but I plugged it in and tried it, and the speaker was blown. Now, what I came to realize is what this buyer did was they took the brand new one that I sent, that they bought, they opened it up, they took it, and then they just took the sticker, the new sticker off of the Beats Pill, put it on their old one with the blown speaker, and sent it back as defective. So what I did was I contacted Amazon. I took pictures of it. I said, hey, this guy has ripped me off. And Amazon refunded 100% of my sale for that. So, I mean, that's the cool thing is Amazon knows that this kind of stuff happens, but it's just, it just irritates the crap out of me.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. One of my favorite things that I did with retail arbitrage, which actually I just did it actually on eBay. I didn't do this one through Amazon, but Target was having a thing where if you buy an Apple Watch, you get a $100 gift card. Plus, we had a 20% off coupon for the store for your purchase. So we went in, I think we bought like 5 of those Apple Watches. So I got $500 in gift cards. There was no limits on it. Plus, I got 20% off the watches themselves. And then I went home and sold them on eBay for full price. So I made, I evened out, a little bit more than evened out for the fees. So I had $500. I just gained super quick $500 in gift cards, just like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that.
Super easy money right there. Well, how often do you guys do this?
Every 2
Every
weeks.
2 weeks.
Cool. How long do you go usually?
For about an hour. We usually start at 2 o'clock. We kind of started late today.
Gotcha.
But so I guess we could go for about 15 more minutes unless, y'all got to go or whatever. But I wanted to ask you, Corey.
But yeah, go ahead.
What? I wanted to ask you, do you ever, just kind of going back to what we were talking about sourcing, and I know you say you don't do it that much anymore, but what about, you were just strictly talking about thrift stores. What about like garage sales and estate sales? Is that something you ever did?
That is something that people who source in this area said that it should be my primary sourcing area, but I've not been to many. The things about it's weird here in Florida that you have year-round yard sales. So literally, people live in these communities where every Friday, every Saturday, they just open their garage and they just have a garage sale. So those things
I think that's against the law here.
What's that?
I said I think that's against the law here.
Oh, is
Yeah, you can only have 2 garage sales every 6 months. I know.
And it costs you too. You have to pay a fee to have a yard sale.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Wow. Now, I don't think
Well, it's $5, but
I don't think Tulsa's like that, but Oklahoma City is definitely.
I can see why they would do that, because it does look a little bit run down, some of these communities, because they just have junk laying out in their yards pretty much year round, and they don't care if people come by and steal their stuff, apparently. But that's their hobby. They just open up a yard sale each weekend. But the estate sales, there's so many elderly people around here that, I don't take this the wrong way, and I want to say this the right way, but they die a lot around here often. And so we get to go pick through their stuff quite often. But I haven't gone to too many of those. And you got to go like immediately. And it is dog eat dog from what I hear. Like elbows getting thrown in those houses and to get this.
So those are definitely better at pricing than the thrift stores. So those are definitely better with the pricing than the thrift stores where you're at.
What about the pricing? I need headphones. I'm looking for headphones here. I don't have any. Next time I'll come prepared. But could you say that again?
I said the yard sales and the estate sales, those pricings are much better than the thrift stores where you're at.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, occasionally.
Good, because it sounds like there's no hope. Do what?
Yeah. There's, like I said, there's no excuse. Anytime I ever heard anybody when I was doing it full time saying, "Well, it's tough because blah blah blah," I always thought to myself, no excuse. And I still say that there's no excuse. If I wanted to do it, I can make it happen. But right now, it's not a necessity. Where it was in South Dakota for me, where I had to have some other revenue, and it was amazing. But if I needed it, I can make it happen. But I'm eventually going to get back into it. I miss it.
Kind of addicting.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
I guess I'd rather be addicted to selling clothing than addicted to something else.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm addicted to the sourcing, and I'm addicted to that cha-ching. Oh, I love that cha-ching.
Yes. Yep, those cha-chings. It's funny. You'll be in thrift stores, and you'll hear those around you. You're like, I know what you do.
Yeah, I was at the physical therapist the other day for my daughter, and a cha-ching went off, and somebody's like, "Does somebody sell on eBay?" I was like, "That's what I do." I hate when I'm in a 7-Eleven because I don't know if it's like this all around, but in our 7-Eleven, they sound exactly the same. They're cash register. And so I hear the cash register, my mind automatically, I mean, I don't look at my phone, but my mind, like, for a split second thinks I got a cha-ching.
Yeah. So if you ever need to hear a cha-ching you need a fix, just go to 7-Eleven.
That's exactly like.
So true. I've heard it.
Man, I have
got. Do what?
Go ahead. I was about to say,
I've got.
That's so funny. You need to hold it. My turn.
I can mute you all.
Yeah.
She has the power. The force is with her.
True.
Alas, I just let us talk over each other.
No, I was just
okay,
going to
Jason,
say.
you go.
Okay, thank you. I was just going to say, I hate sounding like a fanboy, but having Casey Parrots jump in was absolutely a surprise and a good one at that.
Yeah.
It was.
Cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could have stayed a little longer. But I had another commitment I had to go to. When I saw him get on, I was like, I guess this is one of those groups where you have celebrities on or whatever.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too, because I know you've got a YouTube, and so I was like, how does, I didn't even know how he got invited. I mean, I invited him.
I did it. I invited Casey and Corey in.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, I sent him a link.
Thank
you.
With him at some point and do a collaborative video with him.
Yeah.
And I still got to do that, but I don't sell full time anymore, so I kind of feel guilty doing something like that.
I didn't think they would pop on. I really didn't. So I was thrilled when I seen Casey pop on and it's for them to pop on. So that was cool. That was cool.
That was cool. Yeah, when I first saw Corey, I was like, I've never seen him before. Cool, new guy. And then Casey popped in, and I was like, well, that was mighty mighty smart of you, Rebecca. Thank you for thinking of that.
That's awesome.
It was definitely a treat. It just made my anxiety level go sky high. But hey, you know, it's all right.
I thought you got a little nervous, Jason, but you did well.
I got through it.
You did. Sure. Well, I do have to pop off here. My hot dogs that my husband brought me are getting cold, so and I got
my child too.
See this.
What is
I just sold this recently. It's a Jeff Gordon sweater. And
oh, no way.
It's been sitting in my closet. It's been sitting on there forever. And finally I got $30 out of it. But I thought that was one of the coolest finds. Whenever I found it, I got giddy. That was like 2 years ago. And then it like sat in my closet. I sold that
Corey,
today.
go back and watch the beginning of this video. Jason put up some of the stuff that he's sold. And he's sold a couple of men's jackets. Have you heard of Oxford? Is that what it is, Jason?
Yeah, Oxford clothes.
Yeah, OXXFROD, right? Yeah.
Menswear?
Yes.
It's a brand? Like, okay.
Yeah, men's suits. Yeah, especially, you know, I mean, if you go to estate sales down there, to anybody that's kind of, you know, somewhat wealthy, I mean, there's good possibility they'll have those in their closet. So.
Yeah, and you sold a Brioni?
Yeah, Brioni blazer. That was actually consignment, essentially, from one of my good friends, Bob Mills. One of my good friends used to work at Bob Mills Furniture, and that Brioni blazer was actually Bob Mills himself.
What?
Yeah.
Probably in a commercial, huh?
Probably. It's possible.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, Corey did high-end suits a lot when he was selling high-end shoes, men's shoes, and suits.
Suits are my favorite ones. I love staging the mannequins with those types of things and doing the photos.
Yeah, I was going to say that too, Jason. I really liked how you did the photos with the pants on the bottom of the mannequin. I really like that. I haven't seen it like that before.
Thank you. I think that it could be a lot better. I don't take the time to put a dress shirt and a tie on the mannequin before I take photos of the suits. I mean, it would make it look a whole lot better if I did, but I just don't take the time.
But you know what? I thought about that kind of stuff before, and I kind of feel like it might confuse the buyers. Like, does this go along with it? You know, so I just stay away from all that other extra staging stuff because I don't want a whole bunch of messages. Hey, does this go with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's sold, right?
Yeah, I usually put a little disclaimer in mine that says not included, and I list everything that's in the photo, like every possible pixel that could not be.
Yeah, like the wall and the table and the mannequin are not included.
On the wall.
That's cool.
I actually had somebody ask me if I was selling my mannequin. I put a post on Facebook because I was selling a dresser mirror, and I don't want to deal with the shipping on that for eBay. And I guess my mannequin, I didn't even realize it was in the reflection. And somebody was like, "Are you selling that?" I'm like, "Nope, that is not for sale." But what I was going to say earlier is that I've got your link to your YouTube already in the description for this video. Rebecca, if you would send me a message with Corey's link to his YouTube. Are you still doing YouTube, Corey?
I haven't done one in a couple months. But like I said, I have plans to get back into it probably within the next 3 months.
Cool.
Oh, do you mind if I put a link to your YouTube on our description here?
Oh, that'd be cool. I'm all for that.
Okay. Yeah, send me a link to his channel, and I'll put that in the description as well. And I've got to feed my kid. So I really appreciate y'all coming on. Jason, I appreciate all the hard work you put into your presentation. It was amazing. I can't wait to look over it a few times. And I mean, it just looked like you put a lot of work into your numbers. And one day I would like to know how you came across, like, are you a mathematician or something? Did it take you a while to figure that out? Or
you mean like how to find like what your average profit per day is and stuff like that?
I mean, like for me, whenever I learn something and figure something out, I'm a trial by error. So it takes me a little while to figure those kind of things out. And I'm just like, did you get that like that? Or did you learn that from a YouTuber? Or how did you get to come up with all those numbers?
No, I mean, I just kind of found a formula that takes, all of my costs away from my total sales, and that, I mean, in the end of that formula, I mean, it just shows you a good close average of what you're making profit on a daily. You can do it for everything you sold in a day. You can do it for everything you sold for the month. I mean, it's pretty close.
I've got a question real quick. Do you have an Excel spreadsheet template set up that is locked with your percentages, like how you put in the description, you put in the date, you put in the amount that you sold it for, the amount that you purchased? Do you have that template?
Let me take a look here.
Because you honestly, if you had that template set up, you could advertise that on eBay and sell the template.
Okay, let me screen share real quick and show you this. Okay, this is just something I threw together really fast, and I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but here I've got my date, and then the number of orders that I had that day, my sales total that I had that day, and then in profit, I have the equals C2 divided by V2 times 0.8295 minus 0.3 minus 5.4 times 6 multiplied by B2. And that's just a rough estimate, but it's pretty close of what my profit is on a daily.
That's good. Yeah. Because I took some Excel spreadsheet or Excel classes and learned how to do those spreadsheets. And if you fancied it up a little bit, put a title on the top of it, and just locked those formulas in there, you know, people pay money for that formula already being set up.
Yep.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I never really thought about that. But
I
would feel guilty. It's so easy. I would feel guilty.
I know, but it's still, there are people out there that do not know how to do those formulas, and they are looking for somebody that can do it for them, you know, or they can just buy it pre-done. So if you look up on eBay, look up Excel spreadsheets, they are on there. The formula, people are selling them. At one point they were. I haven't done it in a long time, but.
That's funny. You'd have to literally put the Excel file on a CD and ship the CD.
I don't know how that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how
because I don't think that digital content is allowed anymore on eBay. So
and so it's been a while since I've researched it, so I don't know. It'd be something to look into, but and you might not be able to.
Who knows? I might go ahead and just build one and make it like nice and pretty and list it on eBay and just share it with everybody in the group.
Well, I would check into it. I don't want you to get in trouble for selling something that's not right.
Yeah,
that's
right. My eBay account got
I had one back.
What, Corey?
I had one back in 2015. I wonder if I can share my screen. How do you guys do that?
Up on the side.
Yeah, on the left side, if you move your cursor over there should be a green button there.
Yep, there it is. All right, you see that? Okay. I had each individual item, and this took, oh man, it was very exhaustive, and I got fed up with it really quick. But as you can see, each individual item was on here, and I had it color-coded and everything. And then down at the bottom, I had my total profits and stuff. But this was from years and years ago. I haven't opened this up in probably 3 years, 2 years maybe. But that's what I kept track of for all my taxes and stuff. But I simplified the form. I just can't find the simplified form anywhere. But the red ones are the ones that I lost on because I either just took it off and just took it back to the thrift store, or just quit or just sold it for something less than I paid for it. But how do I go back?
You just click on this. There it is.
Well, that's an idea. Something I'm always looking for new avenues, you know, different streams to get money flowing into. So yeah.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
No. Casey will strike lightning at you.
All right. Well, I am going to go. It was nice talking to y'all. I've got to make a birthday cake for my daughter. So
yeah.
Send me the link.
I got stuff to do as well.
I will do.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for coming on, and thank you again, Jason. And also, hope we see you again next or in a couple of weeks, Corey. We'll send you an invite.
I'm going to put it on my calendar.
Awesome.
At least. And send me an invite. Thank you.
I will. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks, Jason. Bye. Bye, Lisa.